Who is the best mining pal for your base? People for a while said Digtoise was the best. And I assume it was simply for the reason that it hit so many times. You had so many numbers popping up. They weren't big though. They were small numbers. It wasn't really impressive. So I wrote them off as being really bad. And I moved on. Then I said, oh, Anubis is pretty good. You got 3 mining. You can mine everything you have to currently. And you can also transport it if you have to. And if you need some handiwork, that's also a possibility. But then you got Blazamut with level 4 mining. The number going up for the pickaxe just means it hits harder as far as I can tell. And you can mine different stuff. And then we had Astagon, who's in the same boat for mining, but he flies and can get stuck. It's a downside here. The flying pals have rough pathing most of the time. We have each of the pals with a compadre with some slight differences. For instance, maybe it has stars and then no stars, or it's got insane passives like the work speed ones and none that would contribute to such factors to see if anything changes. So first up, we'll go ahead and use Digtoise. Actually, we'll do Anubis and Anubis. One with all work speed buffs, 2 stars, and even the work speed souls. Other one has nothing. It just has Diet Lover. They're both attacking the same rock. Damage is pretty comparable. Speed is the exact same. I'm in shambles. We have Blazamut versus Blazamut. One with a lot of freaking damage. Other one, half the damage. And also no stars. Damage is also comparable. There's no work speed buffs here, but I assume the same thing would happen that was happening with the Anubises. It's 80 damage. It's not bad. It's not bad, guys. Okay? Good stuff. Good stuff. Good showing out there. Then we have the Astagon. Work speed. No work speed. They do be attacking pretty fast. So Blazamut and Astagon both freaking hawk. They be hawking at these ores. Blazamut would be the play if you wanted to use one of these because it doesn't fly. Good damage. Good damage though, guys. Good damage. Next up, we have Digtoise versus Digtoise. Wrong direction! How do you make them go the correct pathing to what you want them to go to? I gotta throw them at it? Surely. I don't know where you're going. You're going right here. Got it. He's just all in the world. So we have 9 and 10 damage versus 2 and 3 damage. How come Digtoise is seeing a difference in the damage output? That's a great question. And I have the answer to it. To explain what is happening here, I must first give credit to Average Jonas. I watched his stream, I saw them doing this stuff, and it was freaking mind-blowing. I messed around with Digtoise before, and I noticed that Musclehead would start the animation for spinning way slower than one that had no Musclehead. So I had an assumption that work speed played a role, but I had zero idea that stars, leveling it up, condensing it, could get the damage that crazy. Because when you do the first level, the first star level, nothing happens. But for some reason, when you give Digtoise 4 stars, it quadruples the damage. Not to mention, work speed doesn't affect other pals when they're mining ore. I believe they have no effect on, it has no effect on mining ore, quartz, sulfur, and coal. Except for Digtoise, it does. For some reason, it increases the cast speed of their animation for spinning, and I believe also the rotations and revolutions while spinning. And the crazy part too, I thought when I saw Digtoise doing stuff and work speed affecting him mining fast, I went with it. I was like, I'm gonna get an Astagon that has work speed. I'm gonna get an Anubis that has work speed. Which thank God the Anubis one still helps because of the crafting stuff. If you have him as your personal craft bish in your base, it's pretty good. But I didn't know. I had a rude awakening one day when I put 2 Anubises next to each other. One had 0 work speed, as shown earlier, and one had all of it. And they were just like, oh yeah, same speed. Brutal. Now, the good thing is, if you do have an Anubis that has all the work speed buffs, like most folks do, you can use that to make yourself a Digtoise that has all the work speed buffs if you want to go that route. Which I will suggest, or I will mention, it might be nice to give your Digtoise move speed. So maybe go Swift, Serious, Work Slave, Artisan, or give him a work longevity passive, like maybe Diet Lover, Workaholic, Dainty Eater, one of those. and then have 3 work speed buffs, because he does get hungry a lot. Like right now, he's hungry. He's like, he stops to eat a lot. If you want to get a Digtoise from Anubis, use a Lunaris, Leaspunk, Rush Ore, or Leaspunk Ignis. I used a Lunaris with an Anubis. Lunaris had no passives, Anubis had all passives, and it worked out pretty well. I'm not sure if I mentioned it yet, but Digtoise is also absurd outside the base when you give him more stars. I'm pretty sure. We have 2 different ones right here. I should name them and figure out who's who. I'll do it right now. We'll do 1. 1 dose. Okay, so we'll do dose first. He's ready. 34, 28, 34, you know, that's like the number range. Good damage, still good damage at like base, and the work speed makes him go fast as well. But then we have 1. Little lost. Fine. 100 and... Sorry about that. 109, 110. Like a spin and a half, a spin and a quarter, and he's done. That wasn't even with the buff. Look at this. With the buff, it's 150. 1 spin. 1 spin easily. So that makes mining sulfur really easy. No tools required. You can actually mine every single node and probably still have juice left. Why are there should those be here? And it's like, what? So I had 0 idea he was that good because I didn't invest into the condensing of him. I just didn't think about it. Now that I've learned, it basically revolutionizes my base setup. I go from having a cajillion Anubises, an Astagon and whatnot, to just having 2, maybe 3 fully juiced Digitoises, and then a transport pal, preferably Wumpo. 4 stars, you get 5 transport, and you just gotta get rid of the trees, which, by the way, apparently you can put bear traps on them. I'm trying the small bear traps, but I've heard the bigger ones work better. Or I think I'm making that up. But I definitely heard that bear traps can prevent trees from growing if you place them over the root of them. Just for comparison's sake, I want to use a Digtoise versus 4 Astagons, just to see which one's faster. It might lose to 4 Astagons. 3, I think it has a chance. That's a lot of damage. That's probably around 300 damage in 1 rotation. I think 4 beats it, but it definitely beats 3. Now, if the Astagons are condensed, I'm not too sure. You're saving 3 pals for the price of 1. 116. 17 if you include the original one. Still, though. We had 2 stars on this guy. All that to say, Digtoise is the best mining pal in the game, both in your base, out your base, doesn't matter. I was wrong, and so are the folks saying he was good because they didn't know this either. Okay, everyone just said, yeah, he's insane, dude, does big damage. You didn't have a level 4, dude. You didn't have a level 4. You were just saying that. You got lucky, okay? And I got unlucky, so that's my bad. But still, some of y'all were wrong too, okay? Let's be honest. Anywho, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Peace.